Criccieth Castle was built by Llywelyn the Great of the Kingdom of Gwynedd, and it was heavily modified following its capture by English forces of Edward I in the late 13th century. The castle sat for centuries atop a craggy peninsula overlooking the Termadoc Bay in Criccieth in North Wales. Like many of the existing structures and Welsh fortresses at the time, it was captured by Edward I in 1283 as a part of his invasion and conquest of North Wales. The earliest known mention of Criccieth Castle appears in the Welsh Chronicles in 1239, when son of Llywelyn the Great was imprisoned within the castle walls following the decree by his half-brother David. It is estimated that Llywelyn the Great began work on the stone fortress just a few years before his son's imprisonment. The location of Criccieth Castle was entirely strategic. The position at its current site allowed a Welsh garrison access to supplies by the sea. It was also believed that on a clear day, anyone standing on the hilltop could see as far as Swandonia to the north, monitor movements across the entire Lane Peninsula to the west, and even see nearby Harwich Castle across Termadoc Bay to the southeast. Prior to the castle, the site on which it stands was most likely used as a hill fort by Iron Age people. The towers of the gatehouse provided accommodation as well as defensive arrow slits, while the passage featured murder holes. Criccieth Castle comprised of a standard diamond-shaped inner ward, the simplicity of which greatly contrasts with the complexity of the Great Gatehouse. This combination can be explained as requiring stronger defences at the landward side and less around the part of the castle which faced out to the sea. The second known building phase of Criccieth Castle was probably undertaken around the 1260s by Llywelyn the Last, grandson of Llywelyn the Great. The main contribution to the castle was the curtain wall which surrounded the promontory and formed the outer ward. This addition also contained a large rectangular tower at the southeast corner, which was likely a residential building that served as the keep. Llywelyn the Last, having installed these additional defensive elements, essentially created a concentric castle, a design style most closely associated with Edward I of England. The third building period at Criccieth Castle took place between 1283 and 1292, when Llywelyn the Last lost control and gave up power to Edward I, who carried out a massive renovation of the fortresses. These remodeling changes, which fell under the direction of Edward I, were implemented by King's royal architect James of St. George. His concentric design was a well-known feature of many of the castles and town walls of King Edward I in Gwynedd. James of St. George was appointed Master of the Royal Works in Wales around 1285, giving him full control of the construction of all fortresses, including the renovation to Criccieth Castle, but also to nearby Harlech Castle. Not long after castle's completion in 1292, the now English stronghold became under siege by rebels during the Welsh Revolt of 1294-1295. It was led by Madoc a Llywelyn, who was a distant relative of Llywelyn the Last. The garrison held out for several months before being reclaimed. The castle never truly recovered to its former glory, and it was used mostly as a prison for the next century. In 1404, the Welsh captured Criccieth again during the Independence Rebellion. The rebels were merciless and tore down the powerful structure and set the fortress alight. Mostly ruins since the 15th century, Criccieth remained a draw to historians, nationalists, and artists.